I had been confined to bed for over a week, feeling isolated and unable to keep any food down. The thought of facing anyone, including my family and pack members, filled me with a sense of despair. I despised my own weakness and the way it made me feel. It was frustrating to think that my dreams were within reach, only for the whims of the moon goddess to interfere. To add to my heartache, I was mated to Percy Woods for 2 years, but I couldn't have him. Instead, he was set to marry Ralyn, who had been my childhood babysitter. Recalling the day of the announcement, I remember attending a pack meeting where Alpha called us together to discuss the ongoing issue with rogue attacks. Unfortunately, my father, who had been wounded in a recent raid, couldn't attend and was unaware of what would transpire. As I entered the meeting, I noticed Percy's guilty gaze, but he quickly averted his eyes. I questioned my brother, who spent time with Percy as a beta in training, but he claimed to know nothing. However, what struck me as odd was seeing Ralyn standing beside Percy on the podium. Ralyn and Omega typically occupied low-ranking roles such as cook or cleaner due to her impoverished background. Omegas were expected to contribute financially to the pack, and while I was ignorant of the exact amount, I knew my family paid Ralyn generously to spare her from seeking additional employment. This was partly because she was an orphan and also due to the oppressive labor enforced upon Omegas. Social rankings held great significance in our pack, with the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma families enjoying opulent wealth and status. The rogue situation was addressed briefly during the meeting, lasting no more than 5 minutes. Alpha Charlie assured us that a solution had been found, and our security would no longer be compromised. Curiously, no one questioned how rogues managed to breach our pack's territory in the first place, especially considering our reputation as the third most feared pack. The top 2 packs were under Lycan rule, and even rogues knew better than to challenge them. The Lycans were referred to as the first men in our pack, as they were believed to be direct descendants of the moon, possessing superior gifts and strength. While the briefing continued, I couldn't fully focus since I, as a girl, was forbidden from training as a warrior due to our sexist Alpha. Instead, I sulked in my seat next to my sister Josie and my soon-to-be beta brother, CJ. Our stepmom, who was a pack doctor attending to the surviving warriors, was absent as she remained at the hospital. Reflecting on my family's history, I learned that my father and mother met at the age of 16. My mother was a hybrid, half-wolf and half-human, born in our pack. Despite lacking the ability to shift, she possessed other werewolf traits. My grandfather, the first wolf in our pack to mate with a human, faced societal backlash for his choice. My Nana, my grandmother, was treated poorly by other she-wolves due to her slower healing and human status. Eventually, my grandfather and Nana decided to move to human territory to raise my mother, allowing her to experience life as a human. After my grandmother's passing, my mother stayed in human territory to complete her education. During school breaks, my mother visited my grandfather, and that's where she met my dad. They discovered they were mates and completed the mating ritual, despite my mother's inability to shift. While werewolves didn't consider them true mates, my father stayed by my mother's side, helping raise me even when my mother returned to school. Unfortunately, her pregnancies took a toll on her health due to her human side, and she required medical treatment in human territory. Tragically, she passed away, leaving my sister and me at a young age. Her fortune was passed down to us, and my father managed our properties and assets. Now residing near werewolf territory, my grandfather moved into our lakeside manor. The land belonged to Alpha Deacon Forest, my father's best friend and a fearsome alpha from a long line of full-blooded Lycans. Alpha Deacon had a son named Maximus, the only one blessed by the moon to bear his child. In werewolf tradition, it was seen as a significant blessing when rain accompanied the conception of a child. Though it didn't rain when CJ was conceived, my grandfather believed it was because my father and Remy weren't recognized as true mates by the moon goddess. However, the moon goddess knew my father needed an heir to maintain the beta position within our family. After my mother's passing, my father grieved, but remained strong for us. He found solace in Remy's presence, which resulted in the birth of my half-brother CJ. It may sound complicated, but I genuinely love my stepmom and CJ, who always looks out for us despite being the youngest. As my mind wandered, I snapped back to reality upon hearing the alpha call Percy's name. Any mention of my mate's name naturally grabbed my attention. Alpha Charlie delivered the news, announcing that in 3 months, on Percy's birthday, a mating ceremony would take place. My mate, Percy, had chosen Ralyn Smit as his future alpha mate, and everyone was expected to attend and celebrate the occasion. Please download Novels Ago and search the code in the upper left corner to continue reading.